Hello and welcome to the non-league podcast with myself, Lee Simons. And today I've got another special guest with me. I've got the first team coach from Godmanchester Rovers, Ollie Drake, with me. Ollie, how are you, sir? Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, mate. Thanks for having me on. Great to be here. I'm doing all right, considering. Ticking over, trying to stay in some sort of shape.
Yeah.
And stay as safe as possible and check in on everyone, basically. But that's been life for a fair amount of time now. But I'm still here and fighting strong.
No, that's the main thing, isn't it, Ollie? Because especially being in lockdown, I think now it's my 8th week, I think it is, in lockdown, because I finished work in Easter time, and it's like, what do I do now? What do I do now? So these podcasts have kind of given me a bit of a breathing space to do things and talk to you guys, really, it's been great.
Yeah, they're great. I've listened to a number of the podcasts that you've done. It's you need to, or you have to. I've found I've had to just find little things to keep. Certainly, mental health has been massive throughout stuff like this. I live on my own, so it's been one of those things where obviously can't see a lot of people.
No.
Was still working right as the lockdown started. Did quite a bit of work in London before the lockdown as well. Like I'm talking like the week before.
Yeah.
And Felixstowe, which were quite busy places. So was probably best that I was isolating on my own. But I've tried to keep fit. I've been doing Zoom classes, Alpha Fit. My mate Max York, who plays for Histon, he's been putting some great sessions on. Absolutely brilliant. They've kept me going literally throughout the whole of lockdown. Little bit of gaming here and there. I'm never ever going to be a good gamer at all. I'm probably as good at Football Manager as I am what the lads would tell you a manager on a Saturday, so not great at that. But yeah, it's been finding little ways just to tick over, check in on everybody, catch up with your friends. Actually met a fair few people. I feel like the people that have been clapping over the road, that they're like my best friends now, just because I've seen them every week for the last 10 weeks.
Especially on a Thursday when you go outside and clap everyone, don't you? It's quite nice to see, isn't it?
It's very nice to see. I've got to say, at the start, we didn't have an awful lot around here.
No.
And it was kind of a little bit disappointing. But then I realised I'd been hanging out of the wrong window. And I actually moved to the back of the house, and everybody was clapping that side. So I continued after the second week to stay at the back of the house and clap. And it was really nice. It was little children waving up and, elderly waving across and stuff, and just acknowledging you were there. It was just really nice to see fresh faces, and you knew that you weren't in it on your own. You knew that everybody was kind of going through the same thing, and it was a nice touch, and it was good just to be able to do something different other than sit in front of the television. We've actually been blessed with the weather. We've been really, really lucky with the weather.
Definitely.
We've been able to get in the garden and chill out there and do workouts out there, do a little bit on the garden as well. So, mate, just found as many different ways to tick over as possible, as well as staying in touch with friends and family, and making sure, because I'm quite able, making sure that if certain people haven't got things, just to shout. And here we are. I'm actually back to work on Monday.
Oh, right.
I'm really looking forward to going back to work, and proud in a way to say that I've managed to get through it, and feel mentally strong and physically strong and ready to sort of attack the next chapter of what's going to happen kind of post lockdown for myself.
Yeah, definitely, because as I say, I'm still in lockdown until the 15th of June, which is a week on week on Monday, and I still don't know if I am going back on the 15th or not. So we'll see what happens with that. And of course, I've been doing bits and pieces for the business side as well. So we've been up at in Ipswich doing a few building work. So it's been ticking over, which has been nice to do. So it's been good. So anyway,
exactly what you need, mate. Just things, just to keep your head on the straight and narrow. That's all I've been trying to kind of say to people.
Exactly.
You just can't lose it in these situations.
Exactly. Even if you have to do some digging in the garden, you have to do it.
got to get it done. done, mate. Got to get it done.
You got to. Anyway, Ollie. So for people who don't know you listening to this podcast, can we just have a little bit of a background story on how you kind of got started into football?
Yeah, played as a young lad in and around the Newmarket area. Started quite late, actually. I think I'm sure that I was 7 when I started, which is nowadays that's quite late for people to start football. Yeah. Joined my first team when I was 7. Did what everybody does now and get sucked into some of the local, big clubs have development centres in and around areas. Got sucked into that. Did a bit at Ipswich. Did a bit at Cambridge. And so on, Cambridge City, all those clubs. Always used to go to the holiday camps. Loved football, absolute dream. Loved life. It was brilliant. Joined Soham Town Rangers, I think, at about 11. Yeah. And kind of kicked on from there. Really had little spells, kind of centre of excellence at Ipswich, and into this. It's very worded very differently back then. It was kind of your development centre of excellence academy, and just dipped kind of between the two at the top, and then following that had a little spell at Fulbourn as I got a bit older. Then went into under-18s football, managed to get myself into the first team at Newmarket at sort of 16.
Oh, brilliant.
17. So back then it was called the Ridgeons Premier League, which again shows kind of how many times it's changed over the years and how it's progressed. And sadly, playing actually a game that I was really looking forward to. All my family came and watched. We were playing CRC up at the Abbey Stadium. I was a die-hard Cambridge United fan, week in, week out, religiously on a Saturday. When I didn't play for Newmarket, a little bit before that, and then a little bit after that, week in, week out, everywhere with Cambridge United. Snapped my cruciate ligament, and that for me was career over. Tried to make a couple of comebacks. And for me, there was always played as a striker. There was this ball that went over the top, and I remember trying to run after it. And just as I was running after it, I thought to myself, I'm not even running in a straight line here. I was running and I was veering off to the left because I couldn't physically put any real pressure on my knee. And just decided from there that was going to be it. Hung my boots up, formed a Sunday league team just in the local village. Thought that was the best way to get started. Started on my coaching badges. Had my B licence by the time I was 21. I'm 28 now, so got stuck into them.
Brilliant.
Did some coaching work for Steve Fallon, who was a great mentor, really, really great mentor to work for his coaching business. Set my own coaching business up. Went from Sunday football to under-18s manager at Newmarket. Then did various stints as reserve manager at Newmarket. I did 2 years of Ipswich Town Ladies. Had a great time there as their manager. Really, really good time. And then Soham Town Reserves with Steve Fallon and Ian Hart were the gaffers of the first team there. Didn't quite work out. The team actually got relegated. Really, really tough season that was. And then I was blessed again, just from a gentleman called Matt Clements, who I've got so much time and admiration for. He'd passed my name on as a young and up and coming coach to give the Hardwick job a go. Had a great time at Hardwick, great time, Kershaw Prem. Finished second in the first season.
Oh, brilliant.
And won it in the second season. And it was great. The group of lads we had were literally best mates. They were absolutely exceptional. Some of the football we played was brilliant. And then along came Godmanchester, and that's been the last 3 years, and in which again assembled a really, really good group of players. Been helped massively along the way. Chris Hyam was my assistant when I first came in. Great guy to have around. Loved working with him. All the senior lads, bought into what we were doing, and I think we've definitely had a good two first seasons when I was there. I don't know if you can really count the third season now because it's null and void. But as I say, we were progressing and doing well the back end of the third season, and that led to a little coaching role at Cambridge City Ladies because the family business that I obviously have as a sponsor
Yeah.
at Cambridge City Ladies team. And the gaffer team got in touch and said, we'd like you to do a bit of coaching.
Yeah.
Would you be up for it? I said, yeah, great. He said the aim is to keep us up in the league.
Yeah.
The season was null and void, so we kind
Exactly.
of did
Yeah.
the job. So that, you know, that's all that matters. I actually believe we would have stayed up anyway. There was so much progress made by the girls in the short space of time that I was there. Their attitudes to football changed.
Yeah.
Everything changed. Not, you know, wasn't just my coaching at all. I'd like to think I contributed a bit.
Yeah.
But they really, really gave absolutely everything, and they wanted to change it around, and they deserve all the credit. Even though the season was cut short, we put some really good results together towards the end of obviously February and into March, and then obviously it was cut short. So that's how I've come to it, and you know, here I am now, sitting around watching a lot of football documentaries and stuff like that, and trying to learn and jumping on CPD events for coaching online, and here we go, and waiting for the nod to go again and kick on, really.
Well, basically, you've just come from out of nowhere, really. You've got like two massive jobs, especially for Godmanchester Rovers, and especially on a Sunday, you're doing Cambridge City Ladies. You know, that must be a hell of an achievement for yourself. You know, you're starting off, doing the Sunday morning men's team, of course, when you set that up, and then of course you went into the under-18s at Newmarket. How was that? How was that different for the coaching style for yourself?
You know, I also forgot to mention I had two kids teams as well. I started two kids teams up from under sevens and under eights, and coached them right the way through to under 12s.
Okay.
And they were really successful as well. But the difference was those kids that I was coaching at under sevens right the way through to under 12s.
Yeah.
It was never about winning with them. It was always about how can I make this child a better player, and them get potentially picked up by not a development centre, because development centres you have to pay to go and be at those. It's can I get them to the next level, so they're picked up and they go there. That was how that was, and they naturally became a good side. That as they got to 11s and 12s, I started coaching them different ways to try and win football matches. With different styles of how to win, etc., etc. And I think we kind of took that into the under 18s as well when I was at Newmarket. We were never blessed with huge amounts of quality in the under 18s at Newmarket, but we did have a good group that wanted to learn and wanted to do well. And again, I used to say to them, if you're developing each week, and if you say you lose 5-0 one week, right, well, next week, if we're not good enough to win that game, we're going to lose by less. Or we're going to get ourselves a goal. And that was what it was all about, development. But with the men's football and the ladies' football, I don't care potentially how well we play. It's great to play well and win, but we have to win. We have to win. We have to win. And that is as simple as it was. And I just try, and I want to win all the time. Doesn't matter what sport it is, even board games. I want to win all the time. So with senior football, it was all about win. And that's because Godmanchester, you don't win games. Cambridge City Ladies, you don't win games. You lose your job. It's as simple as that. With a development, if you can push 2 or 3 young kids on and they go and excel, you can turn around and say, do you know what, I did my job. And that's the difference. And that's why I loved coaching kids. I won't go back to kids football. That's as in managing teams. I do a little bit of kids coaching for Ipswich on a Friday night, just a couple of hours every Friday, for a friend that runs the centre. And that's that. I won't go back to that. I do that just to keep fingers in pies and just be able to coach kids again and be around them. But love senior football, love the buzz of a changing room, love the attitudes of players wanting to win, getting fired up, the big tackles, the 40-yard passes, the great finishes that because they want to win games, they make happen, and it's brilliant. They're the big differences, the winning and the competing compared to the development. And let's see if we can just get better every week. And I'm massive on winning, so that's where I want to be.
Well, especially with the young kids, as you were saying, it's all about the development of them. that their attitude is, well, I just want to come here and play football basically and get better, isn't it? But on a senior level, it kind of changes, doesn't it? It kind of changes. No, it's the flip side of it. You want to win every single game, don't you? You really want to put all your efforts into winning a game of football, even if it's the ladies' team or the men's team. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's about having those 3 points at the end of that game, isn't it?
That's all that matters. You're never ever going to be remembered for how well you played. That's all. You're never going to be remembered for they played really, really good football, but they never won anything. Well, you won't be remembered for that. You're remembered for what you win and how you win in a way. So performances, obviously, I take winning over anything. Performances, there are some you're happy with. Even when you get beat, you're just really, really disappointed and frustrated that you didn't win, but you can praise a performance and think that was a good performance, but I'm disappointed we didn't win that game.
Yeah.
And equally, you can win and be disappointed with the performance, but you've got the win. And that's all that matters. And then performance comes second for me at senior level. You have to go out there and do everything you can to win. But you get a much better feeling when you've played really, really well. Not even necessarily battered a team off the park, but we had a game just before the pandemic hit us. We had a game at home to Brantham, and they went 1-0 up with, I think, probably 10 minutes left. And the boys turned that round and won 2-1. Now, we didn't play brilliantly, but to win that game in the way that we did, you couldn't be anything other than proud and happy of how they'd won that game, because you scored 2 late goals after going a goal behind. It takes a huge amount of courage, huge amount of commitment, and a huge amount of quality. And we displayed that. We didn't play very well, but that was a great way to win a game. And I couldn't have been happier because of the manner in which we'd won that game. And you can win some games 5-0 and not even get out of second gear. You can go home thinking, well, we did really well. They're really happy that we won the game, but we could have done better. So always for me, and I know that the coaches that I've got alongside me replicate my philosophy, my views of how I want the game played. They're always win. They do the analysis of the performance. It's all fed back. We then work on ways that we can get the performances better and still win games. And obviously then you're getting a very, very good team then, because you're getting consistencies together with both performance and winning. But I will snap anyone's hand off. Win at all costs. All costs. I'd rather lose 3-0 at 1-0 down, piling 5 up front, than I would losing 1-0 and leaving everyone stayed in their same positions and just thinking, we might get a goal, we might not. No, I'm the opposite. We'll pile lads up front. Rather lose 3-0 going for it than 1-0 not bothering. So win at all costs. Absolutely. That's embedded in me. My family and the people I've worked with and the players that you work with also embed that in you because of how hungry they are every week to go and play football. Yeah,
definitely, because you don't want to lose by the 1-0, especially with 10 minutes to go. You're thinking, right, I want to go out there and win the game, especially with that 10 minutes, because you don't know what's going to happen in those 10 minutes, do you?
You don't, and we're blessed because we've got strength and conditioning coach within our setup, and I'm absolutely adamant, that games like that game against Brantham would not be won if the players hadn't have dug in. Even when it's so difficult and they don't want to do it, they've still dug in, which is such a big credit to them. Doing the work of the strength and conditioning coach gets you over the line towards the end of games when other teams are tiring. And we have won so many games over the 3 years that I've been there. In the last, let's say 15. The last 15, we've won so many games from having that fitness. And it's always the case. The big centre-half goes up front. Doesn't matter who you're playing against. Every team does it. The big centre-half goes up front. They always go to like a back three. Probably swap a winger. Someone quick comes on just to run at the full-backs. And you can get results. And that, again, comes from squad depth. But also, I will praise the commitment from day one that since I've been at Godmanchester, certainly, the lads' commitment to digging in and getting fit has been absolutely incredible. And that is probably why we're always better in the second half, and that's probably why we always go on good runs, or we have done in the 2.5 seasons that I've been there. in the second half of the season, because the fitness and the commitment that they put in, obviously, goes a long way. And they've all got attitudes that they want to win. They don't turn up for draws.
Yeah.
They don't turn up, obviously, no one turns up to lose. They all want to win. And that comes from the group you assemble. So we're really, really, really all in the same boat with what we want to achieve. And that's, hopefully, we can get back to it and kick on again.
Especially with, you've won some trophies in your time at Godmanchester Rovers as well, haven't you? So the season before, did you win the double? Was it correct that you won the double?
Yeah, we did. So it was, I'll tell you what, both those cup finals were literally exactly what I've just been talking about.
Yeah.
So we popped St Neots 6-0 in the Hunts County Cup final, and we were absolutely unplayable in that first half of that game.
Yeah.
Absolutely unplayable. I've never, ever quite seen performances like it. The lads left that changing room before we went out. Everybody was pumped. There was an adrenaline rush as we all left, and even I felt intimidated by some of the lads' attitudes before going out in that cup final. I'm thinking, oh, it's scared. Like, they're getting me real rolled up for this game, and they went out there. They were absolutely incredible. We scored 2 early goals from set pieces, and we just motored on. And the second cup final, we were 2-0 down after 10 minutes, and you're thinking, oh dear, and we hadn't been on a very good run. We'd thrown the lead. I know Histon romped it in the end, but we were up there for long periods of the league in that season at the top. We threw that away, giving us any chance. We dropped so many silly points. And it was kind of, is that going to happen again in this cup final? And I'll tell you what, I've never, ever seen a turnaround like that. 2-0 down, 3-2 up, 5 minutes left, concede a really, really poor goal. Your physio's in goal because your goalkeeper's injured. You can't get anyone else in. Your physio plays in goal. You go through everything. You get to penalties. Your physio saves a penalty. Your sub-striker pops in the winning goal. You win on penalties after being 2-0 down. That's a great way to end the season. And the boys deserved a lot from that season. It was gutting that we didn't get anywhere, in the end, anywhere close to getting up. And it was gutting, actually, that we finished third, because we were definitely good value to finish second. Yeah. But to win those 2 cup finals, it taught me a lot about the group. And they, undoubtedly, best group of players I've ever worked with. And the passion and the hunger to win at this level is absolutely second to none. I cannot fault any of them for what they give me and they give the club and the rest of the coaches. So it was a great way to win 2 cup finals, and 2 very different cup finals as well. There's one domination, one we've gone behind, who fancies it, grab it by the scruff of the neck, and everyone went for it. It was an exception. The second one was an exceptional way to win a cup final. So was delighted with those. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. It sounds like, especially like definitely 2 different cup finals, as you were saying. You won that one 6-0, and then you had to come from behind. It's incredible, isn't it? That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you want from your players, your coaching staff, yourself as well, and of course you want to do it for the fans and for the chairman of Godmanchester Rovers, don't you?
100%. That's why we step out on the pitch every week. That's why we all go and do it. We love it. We all love football. Yeah. Football's been my life for so many years now. Yeah. I live and breathe it, and when you step out there, you never ever really think about doing it for yourself, because as a manager, you can't go out there and win for yourself. You can't do that. You put the trust in the players. You ask them to do something. Yeah. I'll always hold my hands up as well. If I ask the players to do something and they do it and it doesn't work, that's my fault. If I ask the players to do something, they choose not to do it, that's on them. Yeah. And that's it. I live by that. Because I'm always happy to admit when I've got it wrong. Yeah. Never afraid of that. Never ever afraid. And I'll take whatever criticism, of anything when I've got it wrong. You don't get the praise when you get it right, because that's just not football. No, it's just not football. Players don't come out and praise coaches' decisions or the decisions by the club and the managers. That's just not football, and that's nothing against the players at all. That's just not local football. They look to you to make the decisions, and they then go and do what you're asked to do. So as far as I'm aware, when we get it right, that's our job to get it right. Yes. So we don't need the praise. We don't deserve the praise. That's our job to get it right. The players' jobs is to then do it. And when they do it, they do get the praise, and rightly so, because that's how football works. But always, for the club, we don't get many come and watch us, which is disappointing. obviously we'd love to look at ways, or we are looking at ways, to get more people in the gate.
Yeah.
Which is what our club really, really needs.
Mm.
But undoubtedly, the players give absolutely everything when we go out on there. And I always say to them, if they can't do it for yourselves, do it for us. You know, and if you can't do it for us or yourselves, do it for your teammates. You know, and do it for the buzz of the game. And they do. And I cannot. I know I've talked about Godmanchester a lot, but I've been there for 3 years now, and I've seen all of that. And it's a great football club. And I really, really hope that all of us can stay. You know, when it all gets going again, and we can look to take the club to the next level, because that's where I want to go with it, and I really, really hope that the players want to do it as well. Yeah,
definitely, especially with this the season, of course, being cut short for the 2019-2020 season. You know, how was that going into that? So you won the 2 cup finals. How was that going into the pre-season for like the last season? How was it for you?
I've got to say, it was undoubtedly the hardest, and to be fair, all the players agree with this, so it won't come as a shock to them. It's the worst pre-season I've ever witnessed at any football club I've worked at.
Really?
Any football club. It was atrocious. The Euros were on.
Yes, yeah, they were.
It was really difficult to get the lads to training, which, listen, I can understand. It was, players weren't sure whether they were going to stay or not.
Mm.
Obviously, local football, money does talk.
Yeah.
You know, players being sniffed around. I got that. I had an unbelievable group of players. It was going to happen that other clubs were going to try and come in and take our players because of how good they were.
Yeah.
We then got to a stage where what we'd done was we lost the first 2 games, and I put that down to the poor pre-season, the lack of fitness, the lack of continuity.
Yeah.
There were players that had turned up, probably played 1 pre-season friendly. We had nearly 9.
Oh, wow.
And players had only played 1. We really wanted to keep the group.
Yeah.
They only played 1. We as a management group, and certainly me as the head coach, got pre-season massively wrong. Got it wrong massively. Started too early for a start.
Right.
Expected too much of the players, secondly. Arranged too many friendlies, thirdly. And thought we'll be fine going into the season. And it backfired massively on me. I had a lot of egg on my face from that. I was very disappointed with how the first 2 games went.
Yeah.
We clicked eventually, put a little run together. Disappointingly, availability hindered us a little bit, which I don't miss football games because I see it as a part-time job for me, and I wouldn't miss work unless I booked a day off. So I don't miss football matches, and it was disappointing when some players were missing games for various reasons that I wasn't too happy with.
Right.
That was the start of the downfall. Players started to see that other players weren't bothered.
Yeah.
I think a season-defining moment was we lost 5-0 at Stanway,
right,
which was utterly humiliating.
Yeah.
We then, I think a few weeks later, maybe a month later, actually, I'll give the lads some credit. I think we did get another couple of wins in there. Again, we were utterly humiliated at Kirkley and Pakefield, and after that, 2 or 3 lads were like, "Gaffer, I'm not doing this anymore. This is. I'm not enjoying this at all. I don't want to be here." Couple stepped away from football, didn't play at all.
Really?
Others moved on to other clubs.
Wow.
I accepted it, wasn't happy about it, tried to convince people to stay, got very fed up myself with it. And it all comes back to that pre-season. It all comes back to it. Our fitness let us down.
Yeah.
There was no sharpness. There was no team continuity. There was the Godmanchester changing room buzz completely disappeared. And I think that very first game at Swaffham that we played, that's the strongest team to date that I've had at Godmanchester in the whole 3 years I've been there.
Wow.
The strongest team. And I was utterly amazed by what we've been able to assemble. I was utterly amazed by the work the club had done to be able to make that happen. I'm very, very grateful.
Yes.
And none of us performed. None of us did it. And that, I'm not going to sit here and blame the players for their unavailability. I got pre-season massively wrong. And I have to live with that. And I took that on the chin.
Yeah.
I accepted that some of the results were my fault, more my fault than the players because of the poor pre-season. So hopefully we won't get it wrong this year.
Yes.
there's more of us around that hopefully we won't get it wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot more manager to player communication in, what do you think about this? How do you think, even just the other day, how do you guys feel about, some one-on-6 small groups coaching, get everyone back together just to see each other, kick a football around. How do you feel? Something we're looking into. We don't want to make the same mistakes again. We don't want to go into a new season unprepared, not fit enough, no idea how we're going to play. New players coming in, not having a clue how player they're playing next to, plays. We can't do that again. It sent us massively backwards. And then we just found ourselves scrapping and scraping in the end, sadly, miles away from our ambitions of going up.
Yeah.
Just scrapping to finish as high as we possibly can. And I didn't like that being the ambition. Oh, let's see how high we can finish in the league. I hated working under that. Yeah. But it was the only realistic target. So, yeah, definitely look back on that pre-season with a huge amount of regret. I don't often regret an awful lot of things, to be fair, in football and life, to be completely quite deep that, but completely give you an idea of how bad I feel I got it, and how disappointed some of the performances were from the players. So, yeah, it played a massive part in. This was year 3. This was the year to go up. Yeah. We didn't do it. We were nowhere close.
No, so basically, did you think about your position as manager of Godmanchester at that stage?
100%. I went to the extremes of asking the players what they wanted. Do you want me here? Do you want someone else to come in? Because I don't care what anyone says. Managers do run their course. It does happen. Managers overstay their welcome. I didn't feel I'd done that. I still felt I had a lot to give.
Yeah.
But listen, the most important part of any football club is the players.
Yeah.
So without the players, you don't need a manager, you don't need a coach, you don't need a chairman, you don't need fans. Because if you haven't got any players, there is no football club. So if I wasn't the right guy for this football club, for the players, then I wasn't going to stay. Wasn't going to stay at all. So that was what we put to the players.
Yeah.
They said that they were behind us all, so we carried on. We looked at new ways to try and change things. We brought in a new coach, we brought in a few new faces, and that mid-season point it was. That game after that Kirkley game as well was where I considered my position 100%. But I'm delighted that I did stay. I'm delighted that the players wanted us there. We changed a few things, and I am absolutely delighted that I made the decision to stay, and I really don't regret it. And we went on a really good run after that.
And pity that the season ended so abruptly in March, which is a bit of a shame, really, at the end of it, because you did see before we came on to record that you went on to a massive run, didn't you?
We did. We really, really, really picked up, and it was really, really reassuring. It's great to see that we picked up. We'd gone from having a really, really, really tough time, and you got to January, and we lost one game, and that was at Stowmarket. We beat some good teams. We put some really good performances together. We beat a Step 4 team on their own patch in one of the cups as well, which was Yaxley. That was an unbelievable performance over there, and a result to go with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said to you earlier, in December time, you're like, oh dear. I must openly admit this. I thought to myself, I wish it was April. Yeah. Let's get this season over. I want to start again. This has been an absolute nightmare. Yeah. But fair play to everybody. They absolutely turned it round. They really turned it round. We brought Gazma Heineke in as our first team coach. Very well known within the players. Great coach. He changed everything. The players got the fun side of it back. They dug in, put in some unbelievable performances. Yeah. Went on a really good run. And then, however this has got in this country, I still don't know. And it ruined it for everybody. So
it kind of did, didn't it? It kind of ruined it for everyone, really, especially where there's teams like even below yourselves in the league, even like Galston and Hadley, they were getting onto a good run as well, really, because it could have been quite exciting at the end of the season.
I agree. I completely agree. The other end of it could have been a really, really exciting end to the season for them to see who was strong enough to go up. I've got to say as well, I feel really, really sorry for Stowmarket.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with their manager Rick. I've had a number of conversations with him over the years. We actually had a lockdown conversation as well, which was quite nice to catch up with another manager.
Yeah.
I really feel for them. I think obviously they have put a lot into it. They've put a lot into that club to try and get into the new heights or the next level of football.
Yeah.
But I also, and the lads said this as well. They're like, "Oh dear, we've got to go there again, and they've got to come here again." Now, excuse me, we've actually had a really, really good record against Stowmarket.
Yeah.
Over the 2 seasons, the 3 seasons that I've been there, and we've actually won more games against them. And my second season there, we beat them 2-1 on their patch and beat them 3-2 at home, and we were exceptional. Well, I was actually banned for the away game. I sadly got myself a stadium ban, but again, the players knew what they needed to do over there, and from what I was told, they're exceptional over there. And they were absolutely exceptional in the home game. We were 1-0 down, 2-1 down, 1-3-2. Again, shows the character in my players to come back around and win that game. And it's disappointing for them because they've got to try and do it all again. Which they will do it all again. They've got the resources to get the very best players here, and they've got a great management team.
Yeah,
they've
got
some
have
really good coaches there, great manager. They've got a really good setup. But switching from Godmanchester to Cambridge City Ladies, we really, really felt a little bit hard done by because the season's called off. Felt for Ipswich a little bit, because again they were doing really well, and they were in my opinion, quite a long way above the rest of the teams in the league.
Yeah.
But when I spoke to Tim, the gaffer of the ladies, we were like, "Oh, it's disappointing because I think we'd have made a really late surge."
Yeah.
And ended up finishing in a really, really, really respectable place in the table. We would have, I think, if we worked it out correctly, squeezing that game in right before the lockdown happened against Norwich. We beat Norwich at home. I think if the league had done it on points per game, we would have stayed up as well. So the only way we would have gone down was if they turned around and said, your final league standings are how it's ended, which thankfully they didn't.
Yeah.
So for us, we were disappointed because the girls had really, really started to put some good performances together. The team was starting to click. The team was starting to gel. And again, from that point of view, as a coach, that was disappointing because I really wanted to continue to see their progress.
Yeah, definitely.
And we were in a relegation scrap, so it was two different scenarios that I was in, and I thoroughly enjoyed both of them. And then obviously, this hit us, and here we are now. And I miss everybody tremendous amounts, and I'm really keen to get back.
Yeah, definitely, especially for the ladies' game. I feel like the ladies' game is coming in leaps and bounds because you got Needham Market coming up, Ipswich Town, Norwich City, Cambridge City. They're coming up leaps and bounds, aren't they? Especially when Ipswich got all the way to the FA Cup and played Manchester City, and of course they did play quite well, didn't they? I know they lost quite heavily.
I agree that the ladies' game. So when I was at Ipswich Ladies, it was just breaking through then.
Yeah. Just
breaking through, and then I actually vowed never to get involved in ladies football again.
Right. Okay.
I said it's not for me. Don't want to do it. I just want to be involved with the lads.
Yeah.
Plus, at the time, I didn't want to give up another day of my weekend.
No.
To football, because I don't care what everyone says. You can love football as much as you can, but you do need a break from it. But I saw what Cambridge City were trying to do. I spoke to Tim and a couple of members of the club.
Yeah. And
I was really, really intrigued to see what impact I could have with a group.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I've agreed to stay again for next season. Can't wait to get back into it.
Brilliant.
Great how it's evolved. Great to see my old club Ipswich doing really, really well.
Yeah.
The captain of Ipswich actually works in our office for our family business, so I regularly keep in touch with her about the football as well, which is great.
Yeah.
So really, really pleased to see the ladies' game is kicking off really well and getting to some heights that I'm sure a lot of people doubted it would get to. So I'm absolutely delighted to be a part of women's football and delighted that someone gave me the opportunity, even when I thought I never would, to get back involved with it. And it's a decision I don't regret. And, you know, I feel like I had an impact with the girls, but I also feel like their commitment, their work rate, but their desire to improve and stay in the league and to fight to stay in the league was what was the real turnaround. I just give them a few points here and there on how to do things slightly differently. They did the rest themselves, and that was even better to see. They just took it on themselves, took on board what I said, went and did exactly as Tim asked as well, and that was that. We had a great turnaround, and we definitely would have stayed up. I know there's no way of showing that, you know, theoretically.
No,
I'm telling you now, we would have stayed up.
Well, that's good, because, you know, that's what you want to see, isn't it? Your little points for the girls at Cambridge City, you know, that's what you wanted to do, isn't it? You wanted to give them your advice to them, and of course they did it on the pitch. At the end of the day, it's down to them.
Exactly, that was it. I was there as a different voice to give a little bit of, you know, the knowledge that I'd gained over the years of working in many different, you know, areas of the game with different age groups, and just see if I could come up with something different that they maybe didn't know, but also different way of coaching. That helps. Different voices, different ways of getting your point across help. The ladies, especially the City ladies, they've got a little bit of work to do on their banter, because it's definitely not like the lads. But that's you know, they'll get there.
They will.
They'll get there. But
definitely.
You know, other than that, it was very much a case of went in, did my job, what I was asked to do. But they deserve all the credit, because they did it 2 or 3 levels above what I was asking them to do, and it was great to witness. It really was.
That's brilliant. That's good for yourself and for Cambridge City, that you're going to be staying for next season. How about Godmanchester Rovers? What are you going to be planning for next season?
Well, I'd really like to stay.
Yeah.
I'd really like to stay. I think the club is going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I haven't really heard from anybody within the football club for a couple of months now,
right.
Which is disappointing. However, I can completely understand. I wouldn't want them to come to me now and say, here's the plan.
Yeah.
But then the season doesn't start till, say, January, for example, because that's
exactly.
extra time to get things in place. It's extra time to get things together.
Yeah.
And situations can change a lot.
Yeah.
But if I can keep together that group that we ended with,
mm-hmm.
would really like to stay. But again, you know, there needs to be a conversation. One, you know, do the club want me to stay?
Yeah.
And two, what's happening? You know, is it right for everybody? Can I assemble a decent group? Because I really, really don't want to have my 4th season at Godmanchester as the 3rd season was. I don't want to be rebuilding. So
yeah.
I need assurances that I can keep the team that I've got and add extras.
Yeah.
And that the club still shares the same ambition that I've got, and I'm absolutely sure they do.
Yeah.
But as you've said, there's no confirmation as of anything yet. So I do look forward to that conversation.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the near future. I'm itching to hear from them.
I'll bet you will.
I've made my points clear. I've kind of laid down what I would want in place for the forthcoming season.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting now to hear what the next steps are. So, and again with the girls, it's only been confirmed that I'm going to stay on as coach.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can confirm. So I've just you know verbally agreed that I will be staying on as coach for the next season whenever it comes.
Yeah.
So I guess we just need to have a conversation at Godmanchester and see what happens. And go from there. I can't see many other clubs letting managers go, because you know, a lot of managers would argue they didn't have a fair crack at the whip because the season didn't finish. So
exactly.
In terms of that, I don't think there'd be many managers available, and I don't think there'd be many jobs available. So I don't think you'll see much change on the front in terms of managers and coaches. But as I say, I really hope the conversation happens soon. I'm ready for a conversation to happen soon, and we'll see how that conversation goes. But very much feel a part of the furniture at Godmanchester now, and I love the players to bits. I love the club. I love the coaching team that I've assembled over the 3 years. I think we've got it on point now. And as I say, just sitting by the phone hoping it rings.
Yeah, definitely. You're just waiting for that phone call now. Ollie, but for going forward, with especially with social media, this is coming into my little area, shall we say. Back in 2017, that's where I kind of started watching the non-league football. And of course, there wasn't really much going on, was there, with social media at that stage? But now, these days, you're getting people wanting to do like YouTube channels. They wanted to do social media, making the clubs, a feeling that they want to come in and support the team, really, because I've seen like the younger generation coming in with like the replica football kits on. I see little videos going up, even like a 10-second video it's getting like 4,000 to 5,000 views. Like, even if it's like a cracking goal, isn't it? Which is really good to see. Do you think this is a good thing for the non-league side, or do you think it's going to be a bad thing?
I think it's an exceptional thing. I think it's really, really good. As I say, I've been a part of it now for a number of years, and I've seen how it's progressed. Back in the day, you just used to maybe text your friends, or you'd have to look on I remember when I was running the Sunday team, I used to have to wait for a certain point on a Sunday afternoon to see how the other teams had got on in the league, and keep refreshing a website page to see what the scores were. Oh, yeah, we've gone 5 points clear today. Brilliant.
Yeah.
They won. Damn it. But sometimes you just have to wait till 7, 8 o'clock on a Sunday night for them results to be up, because it isn't how it is now. And people like yourselves do an incredible job. I've got to mention my friend at Squeeze.
Yeah.
Got to mention him. I've grown up with that guy. I've seen him at his absolute lowest, at rock bottom.
Yeah.
I have told him how much of a nightmare he is and how silly he is, and he's but that bloke has, in my opinion, changed the local non-league football.
Oh, definitely.
He does get he gets a bit of criticism, but he takes it. He takes it. Some of his tweets are somewhat controversial, but what that man's been through, how he shared his story, absolutely exceptional. That he, week in, week out, digs in.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see him at our games more. I don't see him at our games an awful lot, but we are a little bit out of the way, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But I've got a huge amount of time for that bloke that has loved the boy to bits. He's done wonders to do what he's done. I think he's got over 5,000 followers now.
Incredible. Really is.
And such a short space of time, he's done various charity events. Incredible bloke. And people like yourself that are really getting into it, taking your time out to do all this stuff, is only good for social media. If people that are doing it can take criticism on the chin, it's going to go a very, very, very long way. And that is you only have to look on Twitter now and see how bad journalism is. But these people that are portraying themselves as bad journalists are only trying to speak the truth. They're only trying to speak their opinions. But they always take criticism, and they still come back and continue. And I think even at non-league football, if people that decide to do podcasts, they decide to do little competitions, they decide to do teams of the week, they can take the criticism, why is my player not in there? Or that podcast was poor this week, didn't enjoy it. Probably what they'll say about mine. But, then great. You've got something, you've got a foundation, and it's only... People are using technology more and more and more every day, all day. You think the amount of people that, because they couldn't go out anywhere, how much technology people have used, how much they've discovered throughout this pandemic.
Exactly.
How important technology is for a lot of football. And football's not gone quiet either.
No.
It could have quite easily gone quiet during the pandemic. There's been FIFA tournaments online. There's been, competitions. There's been free giveaways. They've done Euro reruns. everything. It's been really, really good. And you don't get any of that without the social media platform, without it being publicised, without it being promoted. You don't get any of that. So I'm all for people like yourself really going for it. As I say, over the moon for what Squeeze has done. Really proud of him. And I know he won't find that patronising. I know he'll appreciate the words. Really, really, really pleased what he's put together and how he's motored on. And he's going to continue to go from strength to strength. Yourself will as well. The podcasts are great.
Thank you.
And it's exactly what local football needs. And everybody's in it together. And that's what's great.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like with Squeeze myself, because you've got DJ Vogs as well, the non-league Nosh as well. They're doing a great job as well. Of course, you've got Ellis who does the away days as well. You've got Spencer who does the Suffolk and Essex Border League as well. He does a few bits and pieces. You know, there's always someone who's going to be out there to help each other out. And I speak to Squeeze, I speak to Spencer, I speak to Adam and of course James as well. You know, we're all in together. You know, we want to talk to you guys and get the background, the stories, what people don't probably necessarily know about yourself. And of course, Danny White, we've had on the show. We've had Michael Gash from Kings Lynn. He's been on the podcast recently. You know, so it's been quite nice to speak to different people, which is good to see.
It's also great to listen to different people. You know, I say brother-in-law. Sadly, the wedding was cancelled. But Adam Marriott, who plays for Kings Lynn, he's you know my sister's fiance. You know, it's great to. I speak to him on a regular basis, and I know that Gashi and him have had a formidable partnership this season. Absolutely incredible partnership. It's great to be speaking to people that are playing that level, and they were absolutely class. And Maz had an absolutely incredible season. He banged in some quality goals, and was very, very consistent. You then get the other scale of Marcel's and Danny that are working at step 5, and you know, people behind the scenes and off the pitch, and you know, not managers and groundsmen. It's great. It's great to hear how many different people think differently. But that's what it's all about. I don't know if you've ever heard of the podcast called The Magic Sponge.
No, I haven't. No.
Jimmy Bullard did it with Rob Beckett
and
a guy called Ian Smith.
Yeah.
And I tell you now, it was absolutely brilliant. They got ex-footballers on. They got people that are now coaching. They got people that are now not doing anything on there. And they just spoke to them for 15, 20 minutes, asked them stories, did little quizzes. It was absolutely brilliant. And that was where I developed my love for podcasts and listening to podcasts. So I'll often drive long work journeys or to football and back, and I'll have a podcast now on instead of the radio, instead of music, because I just love listening to people's views. Crouchy did a great podcast, absolutely brilliant podcast Crouchy did. Very funny, very entertaining, and it's great to hear so many different stories about football and so many different views. And that's credit to people like yourself that, again, you're putting that time into doing it. You don't get anything back from it other than that sense of achievement from what you've produced. And it's great. And we need more people to keep doing that, and more people to keep wanting to do that, and more people to get excited about the social media platform that is being built within football. And I really, really hope it continues. I really hope it does.
Yeah, it definitely will be for myself, and I will continue to do that. It's like when you were saying about the fans at the grounds, it's quite nice to see. Like there's more and more people coming into the grounds, which is nice. You know, we had that Vars cup game with Wroxham and Stowmarket. You know, that had over 1,000 people, didn't it? It's remarkable to see, especially at our level, which is good.
It is absolutely great to see. It is great to see. It's one of those where we have to keep, as a club ourselves, Godmanchester, we have to keep doing what we can to get more and more people through the gate. Mm-hmm. But it was brilliant to see that the Thurlow Nunn League had that amount of people watching that game. Yeah. And Stowmarket regularly get good crowds in. Mildenhall, you know, again, good crowds. Newmarket, good crowds.
Definitely.
It's what's needed. It is really what's needed. It's great, and hopefully, as the years progress, you know, you can get more local fans. I understand that people are always going to prioritise your Cambridge Uniteds, your Ipswiches, your I won't say Peterborough because I don't think anyone goes and watches them. Norwich.
Yeah.
All them, they're always going to prioritise them because they look at those kind of players as heroes, and they've heard about them on FIFA and all Football Manager and all that kind of stuff. But what we hope is that as time progresses, when those teams are not playing at home and you don't want a day out, you haven't got the time or the resources because your young lads played in the morning, you can't then travel to miles away to watch your big team, that they then turn up and watch the local games. You've actually got some people like Stowmarket have got an unbelievable fan base.
They have.
They don't go and watch Ipswich. They go and watch Stowmarket every weekend.
Yeah, do.
So hopefully, as the years progress, the attendances can keep going up, and it's definitely something as a football club at Godmanchester that we are putting plans in place to try and get more people through the gate to watch us, because it is disappointing sometimes when you look around and you've got 40 people there.
Yeah.
It is disappointing, and I also believe that with the players that we've got there, they deserve more people watching them as well because they're good.
Definitely.
They're good players.
Definitely.
So, yes, it is going that way. I also feel the likes of your podcasts, to people who didn't know who I am, now might listen to your podcast and think, oh, he talks really highly of his team, I'm going to go and watch them.
Exactly.
Squeeze doing the promotion when he, of talking to different people and different things out there, etc., etc. Like, hopefully, all of the coverage that you guys give us will result in higher attendances as the years go on for lots and lots of different games and for many years to come. I really hope that. And that's kind of something that we put our trust in you guys getting certain bits about us out there.
Exactly.
As well as the bits and bobs that we have to work on individually as clubs, and the odd tweet from players encouraging people to come and watch and stuff. So it's every format really. It's everybody's got their same kind of. Everyone has to contribute.
Exactly, because when I'm been talking to like yourself on social media, like Twitter and everything, it's nice to have that interaction with the players, the management, the committee, the chairmans. Even it's quite nice to see that the feedback is coming, even if it's good or bad. At least it's getting out there to people who wants to listen, which is the main thing. That's all I want to do is promote non-league football. That's the main aim.
It's great. Honestly, I cannot, speak highly enough of yourself that's doing it and doing a great job, and all these other people that are really making a real good go of it. It's brilliant. All that we can say, because it's not, it's not paid roles for you guys. It's hobbies more than anything. All we can say is pretty much plead you guys to keep doing it because it's great. I will listen to Michael Gash's podcast because I watched him at Cambridge United when he was playing there, and Mazza has spoke really highly of him. So it'd be great just to hear what he's got to say on everything. What he's been doing and so on. And that's what's great. That you've got an interaction. You can, as they say, slide in people's DMs and say, "Look, fancy having a chat," and it's great. It's absolutely great. And I think, please just keep doing it because it's great to watch. It's great to listen to, and the graphic side of things. Come on, we didn't even have those kind of resources 5 years ago.
No,
in
we
a
didn't.
Short space of time as that, people weren't doing it. So it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and I'm very, very grateful for people like yourselves that are doing their bit for the non-league scene. Really am.
Well, thank you very much. It's not just me; it's for the other guys as well, and that's why we enjoy it. That's the main thing. But we're going to finish on one thing, Ollie. What has been your best achievement in football to date?
Oh, that is a difficult one.
Thanks.
My best achievement. I don't know if there's one that massively stands out. I think my Sunday team won the treble. We were unbeaten the whole season. We won the treble. That was great. The ladies at Ipswich won the Suffolk Cup at Portman Road.
Wow.
That was a great experience to manage there. That second season at Hardwick was absolutely just second to none. We were brilliant. And with the achievement at Hardwick, at Christmas, which is obviously a lot of people look into where teams are at Christmas in the leagues and stuff. We were fifth.
Yeah.
And I think, don't quote me on, well, say don't quote me, I'm talking live, but we went on a run where I think we had around about 22 games of the season left at Christmas.
Yeah.
And we won 19.
Wow.
And we ended up winning the league by 5 points.
Brilliant.
So that was an incredible achievement, that was. Absolutely second to none. The girls winning the cup, the Cambridge City ladies just recently winning the County Cup final at Cambridge United. Great, loved coaching there. It was brilliant, obviously, because I've grown up just watching Cambridge United. But I think if we're really looking at it, I think my best achievement to date has to be the 2 cups with Godmanchester last year. I think just because of the way we won both cup finals, St Neots were 2 steps higher than us. They were step 3.
Wow.
And we were absolutely incredible against them that evening. We beat Pinchbeck, who were doing really, really well in their league, and a lot of people were saying that the league that they were in was stronger than ours.
Yeah.
So I think doing the double for me at step 5, but with my coaches that I had, and particularly that group of players that I had, I think just doing it with that group to win the double, I think I've got to put that up there with my best achievement. I really have, because the players made that experience for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not in any way, shape or form saying that any of the other teams, the players weren't as good. They were all exceptional. That Hardwick team was incredible for that season. In the Kershaw, and so many people were complimentary of how we played, how we got the job done. Others criticised, that's fine. They tried to find little fault in what we did. That Hardwick team was absolutely exceptional. But the way that Godmanchester team competed in both them cup finals, you've also got to point out, Lee, that we were top of the league for a lot of that season.
Yeah, you were.
We fell away. We deserved second. We didn't get second. We had to settle for third, which I was really disappointed about. And I think me telling you that I'm disappointed that we won the double and finished third says quite a lot about how good that group was that season. We also went, again, don't quote me on this, we went, I think it was, we were 2 rounds away from the qualifying round of the FA Cup, or maybe even the first round of the FA Cup. I can't quite remember, but we lost at Hitchin.
Yes.
That was an absolutely tremendous run. Tremendous run that was.
Yep.
We lost at Hitchin. We were booted out of the Vars for an admin error.
Oh, right.
The Hitchin game, we were also 1-0 up for 70 minutes.
Oh.
There's step 3. I think there was over 1,000 people watching us that day.
Oh,
we played out of our skin. Didn't have quite enough in the tank to see it through.
Yeah.
And then the Vars, we got to the last 16 and were booted out for an admin error. So I think that whole season, third, the 2 cup runs, the double winning, and with that group, I think it's got to be my biggest achievement to date. And I'm ready for more. I'm absolutely ready for more.
Well, Ollie, I wish you all the best for next season. Hopefully I'll come and see you next season with Thetford Town, of course, and then probably have a drink after the game, hopefully.
Sounds great, mate. I really, really appreciate you having me on. As I've said before, please keep doing what you're doing, and I wish my very, very, very best and a clean bill of health to absolutely everybody, and I hope to see everybody very, very soon, and look forward to getting back on the field and doing it all again and seeing what we can achieve this year, in all formats. So, raring to go, mate. Just need my mate Boris to give us the nod, and that'll be that.
Definitely, give that green light. We'll be back on that football pitch as soon as you know it. But same for you, Ollie. I wish you all the best as well. Keep safe out there. But for people who have been listening to the podcast, hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you on the next one. But for now, bye for now.